You're watching Republic.
Welcome friends to 6 at 6 Thursday edition. The fact that we are in war mode as India preps up its response, a military response to the Pahalgam terror attack. Everything on the table. We are going to focus on how the preparations are going on from naval drills off the Arabian Sea, and then of course Air Force getting ALH Dhruv, even as our leadership makes it clear its resolve that this is the time to punish terror, its backers, and of course Pakistan. All that and more. Let me get you a breaking news development coming in, which is that Union Home Minister Amit Shah has made a statement giving a stern warning to Pakistan and to terrorists that we will make sure that each and every perpetrator of the Pahalgam terror attack is brought to justice. Let's listen in to the Union Home Minister Amit Shah.
आज उन सभी आतंक की भेंट चढ़ने वाले हमारे नागरिकों को, उनके परिवारजनों को कहना चाहता हूं, एक क्षति सिर्फ आपकी क्षति नहीं है, आपके जितना ही दर्द देश के हर नागरिक के दिल में है, हर नागरिक इतना ही दुख का अभिव्यक्ति करना चाहता है। और मैं आज पूरे देश की जनता को यह बताना चाहता हूं कि 90 के दशक से कश्मीर में जो आतंकवाद चला रहे हैं, उनके खिलाफ हमारे प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का जीरो टॉलरेंस का नीति है। हम मजबूती के साथ अपनी लड़ाई लड़े हैं और आज वो ये न समझ ले कि हमारे 27 नागरिकों का जान लेकर ये लड़ाई जीते हो। मैं सभी आतंक फैलाने वालों को कहना चाहता हूं कि लड़ाई का अंत नहीं है, एक मकाम है। हर व्यक्ति को चुन चुन कर जवाब भी मिलेगा, जवाब भी लिया जाएगा। नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में चाहे उत्तर पूर्व हो, चाहे वामपंथी उग्रवाद का क्षेत्र हो, चाहे कश्मीर पर पड़ी आतंकवाद की छाया हो, हर चीज का मजबूती के साथ हमने जवाब दिया है। और अगर कोई एक कायराना हमला कर ये समझता है कि हमारी बड़ी जीत है, तो एक बात मन से समझ लीजिए, ये नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार है, किसी को बख्शा नहीं जाएगा, किसी को बख्शा नहीं जाएगा। इस देश की इंच इंच भूमि पर से आतंकवाद को मूल समेत उखाड़ने का हमारा संकल्प है और वो सिद्ध होकर रहेगा।
Well, if the context is political resolve and political will to make sure that India as a nation backs their armed forces, even as they plan to inflict costs and take our revenge, Prime Minister Modi led from the front. Just a few days back, he made this speech, and listen in to understand what's the level of the resolve.
मैं बहुत स्पष्ट शब्दों में कहना चाहता हूं, जिन्होंने ये हमला किया है, उन आतंकियों को और इस हमले की साजिश रचने वालों को उनकी कल्पना से भी बड़ी सजा मिलेगी। सजा मिलकर के रहेगी। टुडे फ्रॉम द soil of Bihar, I say to the whole world, India will identify, track and punish every terrorist and their backers. We will pursue them to the ends of the earth. India's spirit will never be broken by terrorism. Terrorism will not go unpunished. Every effort will be made to ensure that justice is done. The entire nation is firm in this resolve.
Another breaking news development, a good news there. The ALH Dhruv helicopters that were grounded on some technical grounds are up again. The Hindustan Aeronautics Limited has cleared the operational role for the advanced light helicopters and both the Army and the Air Force versions. And a statement to that effect was made by the HAL, saying that in furtherance of the clarification dated 11th of April, it is now intimated that the advanced light helicopters, Dhruv Army and Air Force versions are cleared for operations based on the Defect Investigation Committee recommendations. A time-bound plan for the resumption of operations has been worked out with the users. Remember, the Army and Air Force versions taken together, about 300 plus helicopters were grounded a year or so back after there were some technical faults found, including a couple of crashes, landings, hard landings as well. Moving on for now. And still staying with defense preparedness, the Indian Navy has issued 4 green notifications for firing in a coastal area off the Gujarat coast, just 85 nautical miles from the region where Pakistan is currently conducting its naval drills in the Arabian Sea. These notifications are meant to ensure safety by alerting civilian and commercial vessels to avoid the designated zones during military activities. Take a look at this report.
The tremors from New Delhi have reached Islamabad. Rattled and panicked, Pakistan is on the back foot. Prime Minister Modi granting the Indian Armed Forces full operational freedom to avenge the Pahalgam massacre has thrown Pakistan into a frenzy. And India has intensified its military readiness. The Indian Navy has issued 4 green notifications for firing in a coastal area off the Gujarat coast, just 85 nautical miles from the region where Pakistan is currently conducting its naval drills in the Arabian Sea. Indian Navy has been carrying out various exercises with more demonstrations scheduled over the coming days. The firing notifications are valid from April 30th to May 3rd, 2025. Pakistan has issued its 4th naval missile firing notification in the past week, but has not launched any missile on the previous 3 occasions. The Indian Navy is closely monitoring the situation and Pakistan's activities in the region. These live drills come days after the indigenous guided missile destroyer INS Surat tested a medium-range surface-to-air missile. As India prepares to cut terror state Pak deep, the growing chorus is one: revenge next.
All right, these exercises are going on in the Arabian Sea with both the navies carrying these out side by side. But if the conventional superiority of India vis-a-vis Pakistan is clearly marked, it is in the naval domain, with the Indian Navy up there vis-a-vis its Pakistani counterpart. If you want to understand where the two stand, take a look at this explainer by Sucharita.
So as we speak about India's naval might, we would also like to show you how India's navy stands vis-a-vis Pakistan's navy. Now, the two countries in a state in a state of the present state where there is a strife, and we know that this might of both the countries is going to be at display. When we speak about aircraft carriers, India has 2, but Pakistan has none. They're still to get their first aircraft carrier. When we speak about submarines, India's submarines at a total of 18 and Pakistan's submarines at 8. So that is the total of the submarines for both the countries. When we speak about destroyers, India has 13. Pakistan still to acquire its first destroyer. That is the number. Now frigates, India has 14, Pakistan has 9. Now the naval might of both the countries right in front of you as I speak. I'm speaking about the corvettes. India has 18, Pakistan has 9. Now the naval might of both the countries, in a straight comparison, the patrol vessels, India has 135, Pakistan has 69. So that comparison of the patrolling vessels and the total naval personnel, India has 1,42,252 and Pakistan has 1,24,800. So that is the number of naval personnel who are reporting into these countries.
Okay, on to another breaking news development this time. Indian diaspora expressing its anger, angst and the sense of outrage, now protesting outside the Pakistan embassy at The Hague in the Netherlands. And these are pictures coming in of the protests that were held earlier in the day. Remember, we have seen these protests outside Pakistani missions around the world by Indian community from London to San Francisco to Melbourne to other places. And now these protests at The Hague in the Netherlands, Pakistani High Commission there, Pakistani embassy there, facing these protests. Peaceful protests, but nevertheless expression of anger, frustration, angst, and an outrage, sense of outrage that Pakistan continues to harbor and nurture terrorism and launch terrorist attacks. The latest being the Pahalgam one, where 26 innocent lives have been lost to the cowardice and absolute ideological extremism of the Pakistan-based terrorist machine. All right, another back-to-back breaking this time. Back to New Delhi, where Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has posted on his social media handle X that he just a while back spoke to US counterpart Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. He writes on X that US Secretary of Defense spoke to Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh, this is on his official handle, earlier today and expressed his deepest sympathies for the tragic loss of innocent civilians in the dastardly terror attack in Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir. Secretary Hegseth said that the US stands in solidarity with India and supports India's right to defend itself. Now that's a very indicative comment coming in from the US Defense Secretary that India, whatever it needs to be done to exercise our right to defend, we will do that, and the United States concurs with that. Hegseth continued to reiterate the strong support of the US government in India's fight against terrorism, and during the conversation, Rajnath Singh told the Secretary of Defense that Pakistan has a history of supporting, training and funding terrorist organizations. He further said that it is important for the global community to explicitly and unequivocally condemn and call out such heinous acts of terrorism. A two-way communication at the topmost levels. Remember, this comes on the back of a call between External Affairs Minister and Secretary of State, Jaishankar and Rubio, respectively. And the two together form the 2+2 committee, high-level engagement committee between India and the United States, where the foreign ministers and the defense ministers have a regular annual dialogue. Defense minister there making it clear that India, as a victim of terror, reserves its right to punish terrorism emanating from Pakistan. Pete Hegseth agreeing with it. All right. All right, moving on. Many bunkers have been built near the Longewala border. Remember the site in Rajasthan, which saw action in 1965-71 wars both. And we have a ground report coming in from there about the kind of preparations that have been put in place. Take a look.
ये सरहदी इलाका और यहां से पाकिस्तान की सीमा बस महज तकरीबन 4 से 5 किलोमीटर ही है। तो ये लोहे का बंकर यहां पर दोबारा से फिर से मेंटेन किया गया है ताकि अगर हमारी इस सीमा में दुश्मन देश पाकिस्तान घुसने की हिमाकत करता है तो इस बंकर के जरिए हमारे सेना के जवान पाकिस्तानी आर्मी को माकूल जवाब दे सके। इस रेत में चलना बहुत मुश्किल है क्योंकि रेत बहुत गर्म है और टेम्परेचर भी यहां पर तकरीबन 55 डिग्री सेल्सियस के आसपास है, लेकिन इस तापमान में भी लगातार हमारी सेना के जवान इस पूरे इलाके में गश्त कर रहे हैं और इन बंकरों पर लगातार जो है वो निगरानी रखी जा रही है। बीएसएफ के आईजी भी आज इस जैसलमेर के सरहदी इलाके में पहुंचे थे और उस इलाके में पहुंचकर उन्होंने आज सीमा पर पूरी तरह से लगातार जो है वो पेट्रोलिंग और मॉनिटरिंग की, साथ ही वहां पर मौजूद सेना के जवानों से भी उन्होंने मुलाकात की। बीएसएफ के आईजी जब बीकानेर पहुंचते हैं वहां पर डीजी के साथ बैठक होती है और आगे सीमा सुरक्षा को लेकर रणनीति क्या होगी इसको लेकर विस्तृत चर्चा की गई। एक और बंकर हम आपको दिखाएं, दरअसल वो लोहे का बंकर था और ये सीमेंटेड बंकर जो है वो तैयार किया गया है। सीमेंट कंक्रीट की ये मोटी चादर है इस बंकर में जिसके इस्तेमाल से इस बंकर को तैयार किया गया है। और अगर इस बंकर के रास्ते की बात करें तो एक ये प्रवेश द्वार है इस बंकर के अंदर सेना के जाने का। इस प्रवेश के द्वार के जरिए सेना के लोग जो हैं, हमारे जवान जो हैं, वो इस बंकर में प्रवेश करेंगे और ये इस बंकर की पोजीशन वाली जगह है। यहां से सेना के जवान जो हैं वो इस बंकर के अंदर पहुंचकर पोजीशन ले सकते हैं। 2 खिड़कियां हैं इस बंकर में, पहली ये, दूसरी ये, और इसमें आप देख सकते हैं शटर भी लगा हुआ है, यानी कि अगर यहां पर लगातार सेना के इस बंकर पर गोलीबारी होती है तो खिड़की का ये शटर जो है वो बंद कर सकते हैं। कुल मिलाकर इस मोटे बंकर को बनाए जाने का मकसद यही है कि इस बंकर के जरिए हमारे सुरक्षा बल जो हैं वो इस मोर्चे पर डटे रह सके और तकरीबन 9 से 10 इंच मोटाई की इस बंकर की दीवार है जिस पर गोलियां पूरी तरह से बेअसर हैं। कुल मिलाकर हमारे देश की सेना की अब कोशिश यही है कि अगर पाकिस्तान की तरफ से इस जैसलमेर बॉर्डर पर किसी भी तरह की हिमाकत की जाती है तो उस हिमाकत का माकूल जवाब दिया जा सके।
All right, even as we continue to bring these ground reports with our reporters spread across our western front from Kutch in Gujarat to Longewala in Rajasthan to Punjab and Jammu and Kashmir, of course. Here's what Army is doing, a tease of our tank power. Take a look.
Tank man, you're a tank man. Be proud to be a tank man. Be proud to be a tank man. You're a brave man. You're a tank man. No fears, no fright to a tank man. No left, no right to a tank man. No day or night to.
All right, more reports connected with India preparing to carry out its revenge response because of the Pahalgam terror attack. The Pakistanis are really jittery and nervous. They are begging, borrowing and taking support from its friendly allies like China and Turkey. We have heard, in fact, reports that plane loads of war machine, ammunition, etc. is coming in from the Chinese and from Turkey also. Have a look at one of those reports.
As tensions between India and Pakistan simmer once again, a new actor appears to be inching closer to the stage. With the rhetoric of brotherhood and symbolic gestures of military cooperation, Turkey is projecting itself as a stakeholder in South Asia's volatile geopolitics. But behind the optics lies a fragile proposition. Turkey's defense industry, led by Bayraktar TB2 drones, has certainly made headlines in recent years. The TB2 was initially celebrated for its effectiveness in asymmetric theaters like Libya and the 2020 Nagorno-Karabakh war, where Turkish drones helped Azerbaijani forces overwhelm Armenian positions. However, that success did not translate when facing more advanced militaries. In Syria, during clashes in Idlib, Turkish drones faced Russian-made air defense systems like the Panzer S-1. Reports later confirmed that several Bayraktars were shot down, with open-source analysts estimating dozens of drone losses in a matter of days, exposing their vulnerability in contested airspace. Similarly, in Ukraine, when Turkish TB2s were used by Kiev against Russian forces, their initial impact faded quickly. Russia's layered air defense and electronic warfare capabilities made TB2s nearly obsolete within months. By mid-2022, Ukrainian officials themselves admitted that TB2s were becoming ineffective due to Russia's improved counter-drone measures. These examples serve as a warning. Turkey's drone warfare excels in asymmetric environments but fails when faced with integrated, technologically advanced militaries like India. Unlike Armenia or militias in North Africa, India possesses a sophisticated battle-hardened military. With over a decade of counterinsurgency and high-altitude warfare experience, combined with a deep inventory of Russian, Western, and indigenous systems, the Indian military is not a force Turkey or Pakistan can intimidate with off-the-shelf drones or symbolic defense deals. India's air defense network, including systems like Akash S-400 and indigenous radar integration, is designed to neutralize threats like the TB2. Its electronic warfare and cyber capabilities further compound the challenge for any adversary hoping to use low observable or remotely piloted platforms. For Turkey, engaging with Pakistan in South Asia is a political gesture. Ankara gains visibility in the Muslim world, appeases its domestic Islamist base, and tries to revive its Ottoman-era image of leadership in Muslim geopolitics. But should conflict escalate, Turkey has the luxury to disengage. Pakistan does not. Moreover, tying Pakistan's defense strategy to Turkish support creates a dangerous dependency. Unlike China, Turkey has no border, no forward bases, and no direct stake in Pakistan's regional survival. In a real conflict scenario, Turkey will be watching from afar. Pakistan will be fighting and absorbing the consequences. For Turkey, antagonizing India is a high-risk, low-reward venture. Pakistan must not forget that India's annual defense budget dwarfs Pakistan's by nearly a 10:1 ratio. Its defense ecosystem is increasingly self-reliant, integrated, and adapted to the subcontinent's operational environment, unlike Turkey's export-grade equipment, which has shown clear weaknesses when tested in high-threat zones. Therefore, tactical cooperation and arms deals can offer marginal benefits, but they do not change the broader strategic imbalance. Pakistan's recent public enthusiasm about a brotherly alliance with Turkey risks becoming a strategic distraction. It promotes the illusion of external backing in a conflict where realistically Pakistan will stand alone. As history shows, foreign partners may offer words and weapons, but not always protection. Turkey's own battlefield track record shows clear limits. Its drones and military exports may be headline-friendly, but their battlefield credibility collapses against peer adversaries with real-time electronic warfare, air denial, and satellite-backed targeting, all of which India possesses. What appears today as solidarity may turn tomorrow into abandonment, leaving Pakistan to absorb the fallout alone again.